What is up, team? So in today's video, we're going to be having a look at Bitcoin currently in a rising wedge, breaking out of it. Bitcoin is breaking out of it, but the question is, are we going to break below the rising wedge that Bitcoin is currently having right now? We know that rising wedges are usually bearish, guys, and we know that falling wedges are bullish. We're also going to be having a look at the Dixie right now, breaking out of a falling wedge, okay? We know that when the Dixie pumps, Bitcoin dumps, and when Dixie dumps, Bitcoin pumps, essentially. So we're going to be having a look at that and talk about that. And of course, KDA, guys, are we going to get a rebound right here on Kadena, or are we going to break down below and essentially come back down and retest this level right here? Okay, so this is a few things. This is what we're going to be talking about today, guys. KDA, Bitcoin, and Dixie. But first, we want to have a look at is Bitcoin. We know Bitcoin is king, guys. There's no question about that. Bitcoin is the leader. Right now, Bitcoin is currently down 1%, which means that altcoins, or most of the altcoins, 90% of altcoins are down. Kadena down 4%. And of course, the S&P. We know when the S&P is down, Bitcoin's down, all altcoins down. Starting off with Bitcoin real quick, what are we having here and where can Bitcoin go? Well, if this closes right here below this very, very important support on the daily, then we're most likely going to come back down and retest this level right here at 21,672. Why? Well, we know that Bitcoin right now is in a rising wedge. We know that we've been supported right here a few times, okay? We saw this rejection happening. We came below. Everyone was panicking. Bitcoin's falling. We're breaking down the support. Guess what? We wicked right back up in inflation day. Wicked right back up, started a nice little bull trend right here. And then what happened is we're created this nice little falling wedge. And now we're breaking below it. Now the question is are we going to break below this candle? Well, the candle does close in 10 hours and below this support right here. The candle does close in 10 hours and 50 minutes, so we got some time left. I think that Bitcoin could potentially close above it. If we do, I wouldn't be surprised if we have a nice little a nice little move to the upside to high $24,000, $25,000. And then maybe have a nice little breakout. That would be the best case scenario, but as of right now, it seems like bears are in control. Now, where can we go? Well, our first target for this would probably be right here, the 21,700. Why? We have a nice little resistance right here and a nice little resistance right here and a nice little resistance right here. Now, all these three resistance are essentially coming back and holding as support. So because we are above this resistance, right, it's going to be a new support level. So anything that is above the resistance will flip to support, and anything that's below the support, which would be right here, would flip as resistance. So assuming Bitcoin comes back down to 19,000, ultimately this level, this green box right here, will essentially be a new resistance, and it would essentially be very, very hard for Bitcoin to essentially break out of that region. So that's that on Bitcoin. Now we did see this happening a few times. We saw Bitcoin wicked a bunch of times to the upside right here, a bunch of wicks before going to the upside. We saw it right here, Bitcoin wicking a bunch of times before exploding to the upside. We saw it right here, a bunch of wicks to the upside. So these candles weren't very, very clean. And now we're seeing it happen again. We're seeing a bunch of wicks coming to the upside, but Bitcoin currently going down. So we know that the bulls are here and the bears are here. They're fighting, but the question is who is going to be stronger at the end? Well, right now we are in a bear market, something that we have to consider, something that we have to understand. Bitcoin is in a bear market, which means that, you know, things will be obviously towards the downside, right? Things will be in an coming down, not going up. The second thing I want to have a look at is this level right here. As you guys can see, this was the nice little flag that we had on Bitcoin, the bear trend or the bear flag, and we're seeing it again right here. Nothing too crazy. This is a nice little bear flag that we're having right here on Bitcoin. We saw one bear flag, two bear flag. Okay, so I wouldn't be surprised if we essentially come back down and break these levels. I really would not be surprised. We saw it happening here. Everyone thought, oh, Bitcoin's bullish again at 32,000. We're going back to $45,000. Was guess what? That was not the case. That was not the case. So it's very possible that this pattern repeats itself. And of course, the parabolic pattern that I do want to have a look at real quick, guys. This is the parabolic curve that everyone is talking about. Are we going to break this curve or not? We're going to have to see in the next couple of days, in my opinion, and that's going to be ultimately the final decision. But as of right now, we are in a falling wedge, so we have to take it, in a rising wedge, we have to take it one step at a time, and the falling wedge is currently breaking down. Now, another thing that I do want to talk about is the Dixie. The Dixie is very important. Why? Because it really affects Bitcoin a lot. When the Dixie was pumping, Bitcoin was dumping, okay? And when the Dixie was dumping right here, look, remember this date, July 14, 22. Okay, this is when the Dixie peaked. When the Dixie started dumping, Bitcoin, July 14, right here, Bitcoin started pumping. Okay, now the Dixie was in a correction. Okay, we look at this, we were thriving. The Dixie, the dollar, everything was getting stronger, inflation was high, so the Feds have to raise interest rate. When the Feds raise interest rate, the dollar becomes stronger, and less people are borrowing money, less supply in circulation for the US dollar. But so this is exactly what is happening right now. The Dixie was on a falling wedge. Things were coming down. Everyone was like, "Oh, Bitcoin's back in the bull market." But the thing that they really didn't understand is that the Dixie right here was just correcting. It's not that the Bitcoin was in a bull market or going back up. It's that the Dixie was correcting. A lot of people who called this bottom, and guys, I could be wrong. This could be the end. I mean, this could be the bottom. I really don't think it is, but I could be wrong. I'm not a financial advisor, guys. Always do your own research and due diligence. I'm just some guy on YouTube that, just say what I think will happen. And I don't think this was the bottom. Maybe it is, maybe it wasn't. I don't know. People say it is, people say it's not. Personally, I don't think this is the bottom for Bitcoin. And of course, I don't think this is the bottom for KDA. But having a look at the Dixie, if the Dixie keeps coming up to $108, $109, then it's very possible that we see essentially Bitcoin coming back down to these levels right here. Now, the ultimate question is will the Dixie go above that, above and beyond $108? Well, if we have a look and remove all this noise real quick and we withdraw real quick, we know that the Dixie all-time highs is, I can't even go back that far, but we know that it's somewhere around, look right here, $120, okay? $120, and we did break. We have no more resistance really. Our next real resistance is at $120. So I really think that the Dixie can go as high as $120 before essentially coming back down. Now, we're not going to see a bull market until this happens, right? Assuming it does go to 120, look, we're already at April 3rd right here, April 3rd, 2023. I really think that the next bull market will start around that time, mid-2023, and then going into 24, 25 into a crazy super cycle, Bitcoin reaching, $200,000, Kadena reaching 120, 130, even $200. But as of right now, we are in a bear market, starting off with Kadena, going back to the KDA charts. Guys, we know the trend is your friend. If you guys saw my previous video, I did mention that if Kadena not only breaks this triangle that we were in on the 4-hour time frame, but breaks this nice little support region, then we were essentially going to come back down and retest this level right here. Now, this level we were consolidating for quite some time. Look at that. We have a massive amount of rejections right here, a load amount of rejections right here, and then another time right here. So we've got approximately maybe 10 rejections on the daily time frame I'm talking about. This is a daily chart on this level sitting at 1.87. Now the question is are we going to see a bounce? Will Bitcoin bounce? Because if Bitcoin bounce, ultimately we're going to see Kadena bounce, and aggressively we're going to see a crazy bounce on Kadena. And it's very possible that if it does bounce, we could see a double top right here. So we see a double top on KDA, right? And I'm giving you guys the bear scenario, and the reason why that is because I want to be realistic with you guys. Kadena, Bitcoin, altcoins, risky assets are in a bear market right now. So this is why I'm giving you guys these scenarios, because Kadena right now and Bitcoin and crypto in general are in a bear market. We got a food shortage, we got high inflation, high interest rate, people aren't spending as much money anymore. So this is why I'm giving you guys the worst case scenario. So the worst case scenario is 1, we fall below this region, come back, retest 1.46, Bitcoin keeps dumping, we keep dumping, right? Best case, on the short term at least, Kadena and Bitcoin pumps, Kadena follows Bitcoin, we go to 2.3, Bitcoin keeps pumping, we continue that nice little mini bull market that we have, or we double top and come back down essentially. Now, having a look at the exponential moving average, something that's very important and interesting is that Kadena right here on the EMA ribbon, we essentially broke the exponential moving average. We essentially trended to the upside. Everything was looking good. Everything was unicorn and rainbow until we essentially came back and broke below this exponential moving average right here on the daily. This is bad. We know what happened right here the last time we broke the exponential moving average. We had a good 60-70% dump, right? So the fact that it's happening right now, it's not the best news, but it is what it is. Good. It gives us more time to accumulate, and we know that this is accumulation phase, and nothing wrong nothing wrong with that, guys. I mean, accumulation phase are good. They're healthy. And in order for us to essentially have that super cycle again, we need to consolidate. We need to get rid of the paper hands, shake the tree out of there, and that's about it. On the 4-hour time frame, on the shorter time frame right here, Kadena is below the EMA ribbons. Now we know when we broke above the exponential moving average, we were trending to the upside. Boom, 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 boom. Everything was looking good, unicorn and rainbows, until of course now we're trending below. So on the shorter time frame or medium time frame, we are going to be trending to the downside on the medium time frame, which is the 4-hour time frame. We should see some more downwards action in my opinion. Maybe we're going to see a nice little retest to $1.42 before coming back down. But as of right now, things are looking very, very bearish for Bitcoin, especially because of the falling wedge. But this is my video, guys, on Bitcoin, Kadena, and the Dixie. If you guys like this video, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video tomorrow.